Welcome back to Shop Life. In this DIY, I'm going to show you how to install an aux input on your E46 BMW. So you can buy the aux adapter cable from the dealer or Amazon or even eBay. So you want to make sure that your unit can support an aux adapter. The main way to do this is to check your car's production date. If your car was produced after September of 2002, so most likely if your car model is a 2003, you should be good to go, or a 2004, you're definitely good to go. So anything newer than that, you should be able to go ahead and get one of these aux adapter cables and go ahead and install it on your car. So let's go ahead and get started. The tools you're going to need a trim removal tool, a Phillips head screwdriver, possibly another trim removal tool. You're also going to need a flathead screwdriver, a drill bit, that way you can drill a hole depending on the aux adapter that you got. This one has a female end, so we can go ahead and drill a hole and then screw it in. We're going to be drilling a hole in this little ashtray and putting it right on the bottom, so then it can be covered whenever you don't want it and you're good to go. So let's go ahead and start out by taking off all this trim. Now that we have that out, we're gonna go ahead and remove the radio first. You can go ahead and pull this straight out. Just like that. Now you'll see where your antenna is, an antenna adapter. Go ahead and push this little section in and it should pull straight out. Just like that. Now we'll go ahead and lift this up with our trim removal tool. Just like that. Now we have our radio out. Now you can go ahead and see there's two sections on this one. The one on the left is for your CD changer, which you should already have input on there on the actual harness itself. And the one on the right is the one that you're going to use for the aux. Now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and test this unit out first. Make sure everything works before we go ahead and put it in permanently. So there's an arrow on this specific one which shows you where the top is. Depending on what kind you get, you might have one that doesn't have all these pins, so you might have to just follow the instructions they give you on which orientation to put it in. So we're going to route it through this connector. Alright, so let's go ahead and plug this in first, make sure the orientation is right. Make sure it's in there nice and tight. Go ahead and pull the wire out through the connector while you go ahead and hook it up. Now that's hooked up, let's go ahead and hook up the antenna. We'll go ahead and just let it sit in here just a little bit so we can double check everything's working. The only time your aux will actually detect is when you have your phone plugged in. So go ahead and grab an aux cable, depending if yours is female or male, and go ahead and grab your phone as well. There we go, we have aux. Let's make sure all the speakers are working.
I pull up, I hop out with all of the drugs, looking into it, rock up, let it lock up. I gave it 10 racks, I told her go.
Alright, now we know everything works. Go ahead and turn everything back off. Disconnect your aux cable. Now let's go ahead and route the cable where we want to put it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and remove the sunglass holder and all of this section so we can route it behind there. So if you have a convertible, what you want to do is open your holder and then grab your fingers behind here and pull it so you don't pull it by the door. If you have any other car, it's the same way. Try to grab it from the top or on the sides. Now that we have that out, go ahead and feed your wire all the way through the back of this HVAC module. Now you're just going to feed the wire through this bracket in the behind the radio and try to just grab it from underneath where the sunglass holder was. like so. Now that we have this coming through underneath here, now we want to go ahead and get it routed into the ashtray where we're going to put it. So we can go ahead and close this back up, make sure it fits properly. We have the wire coming out right here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and remove this section right here. That we can pull this whole assembly out, and we get a better look on how to get it behind here. So in order to do that, we're going to go ahead and lift this section up right here and pull straight up, just like that. There we have it. Now we can go ahead and put the car in neutral, so we can go ahead and remove this section from right here. Put your handbrake up, put the car in neutral, go ahead and take out the screws. There are 2 Phillips. Now you can go ahead and lift this section up from the back first, then pull it out a little bit and it'll lift all the way up. You could twist this so it allows you to get it off. Go ahead and disconnect the window switches. There's going to be 2 tabs on each side of the connector. Now we can go ahead and even move the shifter down to drive. Remove these 2 Phillips and the 2 on the top. Route the aux cable behind. We can go ahead and pull this ashtray out. Now what we can do is we can go ahead and disconnect everything, so we can pull this whole assembly out and make it easier if we need to drill a hole to get it in. So here's the ashtray. We're going to be putting the hole right here. So this section we can pull off like this. So we'll be drilling a hole on here, and we'll be drilling a bigger hole behind here to allow the whole wire to come through. Let's go ahead and do that. Now we got this cable. There's a little bit of space, so we got the excess cable right there. Now we can go ahead and put the screws back first. Put the sunglass holder back in. Now we can go ahead and put this panel back in right here. Go ahead and plug the window switches back in. Put the 2 screws back in. Push that back into place. Put the 2 screws for the radio back in. Put the trim back in. Go ahead and try it again. We were burning on the edge of something beautiful. And there you have it. That's it for this DIY. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more videos.